Hello everyone and welcome to my channel. Hola todo el mundo y bienvenido a mi canal. You didn't know I knew Spanish, but I'm Cuban, I know some Spanish. Anyway, welcome to my channel where I'm just this random guy on YouTube with a finance and accounting degree that's just trying to help you build wealth and get better with your finances. I'm not saying that in Spanish. Anyway, today's video is about this awesome book called The One-Page Financial Plan. It is a book that I was quite surprised about, but I think it's necessary because I feel like we make things so complicated when it comes to finances, and the way he explained it in his book is quite simple and I love it. It gets to the point. Let me give you guys my review. First of all, if you notice a little sticker in the top, I got it from the library. I'm frugal as hell. You guys could do the same thing. You can get all this education and all this knowledge from free. So check out your local library or just buy it. Buy it on eBay or on Amazon, but it's a great book. Let me start with the first key takeaway that I got from the book. The first key takeaway that I got from the book was simplicity is key. Carl Richards, who is the actual author of the book, throughout the whole book, this is what he discusses the most. You see, because when it comes to personal finances, people make things so difficult, so complicated, so grueling, where then you do not end up hitting your goals. The way he discusses in the book is the simplicity aspect in order for you to reach your goals. Let's say your goal is to invest, which everyone's main goal is always to invest. You don't want to overly complicate it by timing the market, knowing when to buy, or if it's on the low right now, if it's too high right now. You get all paranoid or worried. Listen, simplify your actual investings by just getting an ETF, getting an index fund, and do dollar cost averaging to whatever it is that you're comfortable doing. The amount does not need to be astronomical, guys. Allow compound interest to work. You automatically put money into your investment accounts, whatever dollar amount you're comfortable with, and continue that process. And then you set it and you forget it until 6 months later, maybe, or a year later, you reevaluate how much you're saving and putting into investing, and then you can up it at that time. But you want to make it as simple and as painless as possible, and that's what he discussed in the book, and that is the key to hitting financial freedom. The second key takeaway I got from the book is you need to, before you start saving, before you start investing, before you even start thinking about your financial goals, you need to really sit down and understand what your core values are. Let me give you an example. Now, this is the time where it gets really difficult. You need to sit down and understand why you are doing the things you want to do. You see, a lot of people say, the first thing they say is, why is it that you want to invest? Why is it you want to save? They say financial freedom. Okay, you need to go deeper than that. In the book, he discussed that. You need to go a whole lot more deeper than financial freedom. We all want financial freedom. But what is it you're going to do with your financial freedom? Is it because you just want more time for yourself? Is it because you want to start your own side business? Is it because you want to have a family, want to raise kids, and you want to stay home and watch them? There's a whole bunch of reasons why you want to hit financial freedom. It can't simply be just because I just hate work. You're always going to work for the rest of your life because you're going to need some way to bring in income. Now, you may want to try to figure out other ways how to do that. And you know, in order to do these other goals, you need to be financially free. That's different. But you need to sit down before you even write any goal of what you want to achieve. Write down your value, because the thing that's going to drive you the most when you get demotivated is your value. And you will know exactly why you're doing the things that you're doing. So write it down. Whatever your values are, you write it down. And the times that you're getting stressed out, you can't take it no more. You read it and you remind yourself exactly why you do the things you do. Exactly why you're working a side hustle. Exactly why you put all this money to pay off debt, to why you're investing, to all the things that you're trying to do. If you go back to the value, you will keep going. The third key takeaway from the book is you need to focus on your behavior. Now, what do we mean by focusing on your behavior? A lot of people, the first time they see how much debt they have, they freak out. They get paralyzed. They don't want to do anything. They get stressed and they just do nothing about it. And then it compiles, you get more stress, and it eventually is going to blow up in your face. So what you need to do is develop a very good positive behavior. I'm the type of person that when I see something, I dive in head first. I understand a lot of people are not like that, but I strive pretty well within chaos. That's usually what I love to do. I love chaos. I love researching. I love figuring things out. But not everybody works that way. Especially if you have a partner, you'll recognize quickly if you are that person and that person's not, you guys are just gonna bump heads because you are both on the different side of the spectrum and it will cause issues. Some people just looking at the debt or investing just wanna cry. They don't want to deal with all this investing and decisions and they're afraid they're going to lose money and all these worries. And you need to take a deep breath. And there's ways and things you can do to make your emotions tamer. Easier said than done, but you just need to understand your behavior is going to be what drives all your financial decisions. If you're very impulsive, you're going to be spending. If you're a big time saver, you're going to excessively save. If you're afraid of the market, then you're never going to put money in the market. And in the book, he had a very great story about how he discussed when he first bought a home that was way, way, way over his head. His ego, he explained in his book that he had got himself into a house that was ridiculously expensive. And it was getting to a point where he wasn't getting so much finances coming in. And he was stressed out. He was extremely stressed out, but his pride would not allow him to get rid of the house. He held on to it for as long as he can until that day came when he couldn't anymore. But he was extremely stressed. He couldn't sleep. He was paranoid, continually worried over the house. A very stupid house at that. I agree with Dave Ramsey when it says that. It's just the house. It's true, but we do attach ourselves to the house because we do have a lot of emotions. But when it comes to finances, you got to make the right decision. And he did. He got rid of the house, he had to do a reset, he rented, and now he feels like he's in a better position. Which, by the way, I respect him so much for saying that he made a dumb decision as a financial planner and he rebounded and he understands, which why I love the book, that he understands that most people make those mistakes. But those mistakes don't make who you are in the future. And if you struggle with building that mindset, just guys, read a bunch of books. Okay, read a bunch of books about finances. There's so many personal finance books out there. So if you do not understand things about finances, follow this channel. I will give you all the information you need. Guys, just drop comments down below. Say random questions and I will try to answer them as much as possible. But really, put yourself around reading. Listen to the podcast. Dave Ramsey, okay? Dave Ramsey by far is the one you should listen to if you're struggling with debt. He says some other stuff people not agree with, but if you're struggling with debt, Dave Ramsey is definitely the guy you want to listen to. Even if you just have it playing through the background, guys, that thing just feeds into your conscious through osmosis, all right? It's getting in there. So you would actually start talking like Dave, which I do sometimes. Sometimes I'm like, people ask me how I'm doing. I'm like, better than I deserve. I'm like, oh God, I sound like Dave Ramsey. But I digress. In this book, guys, it explains exactly that behavior is extremely important. So if you struggle with that, read this book, listen to a podcast, and you would definitely get on the right track. And also, subscribe to my channel. Didn't I tell you that already? And the fourth key takeaway is flexibility and adaptability. Can't say that word. Adaptability. There you go. When it comes to finances, guys, listen, the stock market changes every single day. There's always new information. You have to have the ability to be flexible and adaptable. You cannot just set a plan, set it, and forget it. Because life happens. Your car might break down. You might need a new car. You really weren't saving for it. Your roof goes out in your house. You need to get that repaired. You have some health situation that you need to handle. Life is going to happen, and you need to be able to be flexible and adaptable, especially when you know things are about to happen. If you have a very old car, you know eventually something's going to happen. So you should have a sinking fund where you have money consistently saved in there for that day where you might either need a repair or you might need yourself to get a new car. But you need to be flexible and adaptable, and not this, oh, why me? The reason why you're saying, oh, why me is because you never made plans. Okay, you're being reactive rather than proactive. And in life, you definitely need to be proactive and prepare for things that might happen, especially when you foresee it. I'm not saying you be paranoid and you need to just predict, everything that's going to happen and you save for all life situations. That's not always going to be the case, but you definitely want to prepare and be flexible because things happen. You might get laid off. There's so many things that can happen. And it's not only bad things, okay? You also need to be flexible because, say, if you get a raise, a big raise, say you get some inheritance, a big windfall, what are you going to do? You put more money into investing. You have to be able to remain flexible for situations like this because you never know, it can happen to you at any moment. It's life, guys, and with finances, there's no exception. And the fifth key takeaway I got from this, and of course, he is a financial planner, but it's to seek financial advice when needed. Most of us like to do it ourselves and handle our finances ourselves and put money into ETFs, and then that's it. We just coast. But hey, guys, if you have any questions, you want to speak to a professional, why not? You could definitely get a financial planner and just, see where you're at. They might have some information you might not know about because they have access to so many clients. They're seeing so many scenarios. Someone that's probably within your scenario, and they probably saw them win. And they want to help you out and give you advice. It doesn't necessarily mean that everything they say you do, but I mean, it's good to seek some professional help just to get a good understanding of exactly what's going on. Doesn't mean you need it. You can become financially successful without it, especially if you know yourself very well, you're very knowledgeable, you can handle it yourself. But there's times, guys, when you might make so much money and taxes is involved, you might want to get some advice to make sure what you're doing is tax advantageous. You don't want to be doing stuff, paying so much money in taxes, where there's ways that you could avoid it. And if you notice, I said avoid, not evade, okay? Evading taxes will get you to jail. Ask Wesley Snipes. Avoiding taxes makes you a smart person. So there you have it, guys. That was the 5 key takeaway that I got from this book that I highly recommend that everyone read. And I'm going to tell you something right now. Just because you buy a book doesn't mean you need to read it from the beginning to the end. Just go through it, check out some of the chapters that might intrigue you, read it, take some notes, and continue on your financial journey. And once again, did I say subscribe to my channel? Please do so. Catch you guys on the next video. Peace.